Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tranks Productions here. Welcome back to another episode I have for you in store today. We'll be playing Trenton World 4. That's because that's where all my mods are for sound and other effects as well. We're going to be playing Northeast Regional number 185. We're going to start here at Sunnyside Yard and pull it into Penn Station. That'll be part 1. With this video, continue on with part 2 from New York down to Trenton on the ACS 64. Number 185 is a Northeast Regional. Should be a regular consist with 1 ACS 64 followed by 8 coaches. And so we're going to get this train set up, ready to go, do some tests, and then we will proceed into New York City, Penn Station, or sorry, Mohegan Station. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I've only been there a couple times after the new renovation. So let's get started. Alright, so while it says wait for a moment, we're going to set everything up. So we'll put our reverser in, put it to neutral, and we'll get everything else set up. So from our ATC, access, our alerter. Should be on, which it is. Make sure we're set up right. Passenger. So we'll test our headlights and just take a look. Our headlights are on. While I'll do that, we'll go through here, check everything else out. Alright, HEP selected, speaker. We'll do normal for HEP. It's all correct. So all these breakers are up, which they need to be. So we're going to test our marker lights. I do need to turn the alerter on as well, which it is on. Excellent. Now we gotta get markers. Let's look at that pantograph. Both ways, across. See better? And there we go. Pantograph is up. Oops, so far. Come back up. Close that. Turn off our marker lights because we're not trailing. Alright, before we go, we'll do a quick brake test. And so it looks like the HEP is off, so let's start off. I'm having issues, so. Alright, so let's take a look back here. Maybe it needs to be feed through. Could have sworn it needed to be normal, but take a look. It's supposed to be normal. Feed through is this is a second locomotive. Alright, there we go, HEP's up. Alright, so we'll do a quick brake test. So the conductor would tell me to go ahead and release brakes, charge them up, so we'll do so. Alright, so this is a class 2 brake test, so I'm showing charge up here. I'll let them know, alright, Amtrak 185 head to the conductor, brakes are charged. I'll say, alright, give me a set. So we'll give them a 20-pound set. The brakes should apply in the rear. You say, alright, good application, 185 release. And I'll release the brakes. I'm temperature released up here because my brake pipe pressure is 110. I'll say, all right, that's a good release, good brake, good class 2 brake test, and I'll check the markers. But before we do that, let's check our markers. Now we do have 2 good markers on the rear. And everything looks good. So we'll test our horn real fast. Alright, horn works, bell works. And she's flashing. So, without further ado, we'll go begin. We're going to check out for switches ahead, make sure we're all lined up. Speed limit through the yard is 5 mph. Make sure we do not exceed that. Check this first switch. Alright, so we do have a bad switch. Throw that. Alright, so now that's a good switch, no gap in the middle. So let's double check our line up here. So when you come out this way, so we'll have 2 switches against. So we'll check out for the next one. Next bad switch. Alright, so we'll get down and throw this one. Alright, let's double check. Alright, we want to go straight, so we'll hit this one. That's all lined up. Everything else looks good, so let's take a look. I see double red target, the gaps pulled to the right, which is what we're looking for. In the railroad industry, we call that the gap and go. Whatever side the gap is on is the direction you will go. For facing point switches, which now this next switch coming up, we are facing the switch points. And then the next switch will be a trailing point. A little bit of independent brake. Alright. See, now we're on the trailer point. Gap's where we need to be. To the left, because we're coming from the left. Alright, let's check everything else. That's our route. That looks good. In yard operations, it's okay to use a little bit of independent brakes. We don't have any passengers on board. We're not trying to be too rough with it. We're just trying to keep our speed, especially going down a 1% grade, and only doing 5 miles an hour, which which I believe now we can do 8. I don't know how cruise control works on the ACS 64s. I've not read the manual fully yet, so I am unsure. A little bit independent. Then we'll go right uphill as we hit the main lines. Remember, we are doing restricted speed. We are up in the main track, so there could be a bend on the other side, so I'm going to slow down so it gives me enough time to stop. Remember, restricted speed is not a speed, it's a method of operation, which means we will stop within half the range of vision, short of any obstructions ahead. So I can see up to here, I gotta be able to stop by here. And of course, doing 8 miles an hour, I have plenty of time to do so. Alright, and the tracks look clear so far. I don't see any obstructions. Alright, we do have a signal. I believe that is a restricting. I'm going to double check just to make sure. Definitely not a stop. Alright, we'll give 15. I believe that was restricting. I'm going to double check. That was a restricting. So we will still go restricted speed, even though the capstone says clear. And we can do 15 miles per hour. I can't see pretty good, so still want to go restricted speed though. Again, with restricted speeds, method of operation, it's not about how fast you can go, it's how fast you can stop. But there's a speed not to exceed 15.5. Alright, we do have a clear signal. Quick running brake test. And that's a good run. We have a good response. Everything else seems good. So now we are relieved from restricted speed. Our maximum authorized speed is 15.15 until we clear that switch. Once we clear that switch, then we'll be up to 60, just like that. Lots of power as we begin making our way into the, I believe these are North River tunnels. We are in line 2. though we do have a clear signal, so or if the gap signal just bugging out or trying to get us prepared to travel to New York City, I'm not sure. Approach 30. Alright, so even though we do have a clear signal, our cap signals are showing us restricting. So we'll proceed at restricted speed, being prepared to stop within half the range of vision. Short of another train, locomotive, rail cars, men and equipment, stop signals, derail stop signs for some railroads, and broken rail. Now, you don't want to assume anything, but based on what I'm seeing so far, I can conclude that there is no broken rail because we are showing clear signals. Anything that is disrupted with the bonding of the rails would indicate that there might be a broken rail. For example, a red signal. Or it could be that there's a train in front of us, or simply the signal could be having issues. But you don't want to assume what's going on, because if you assume, you might make the wrong move. So always take the safest route when working for a railroad. That's something that's been drilled in my head for a very long time. And that's something that I take with me wherever I go. Take the safest route. So we do have another clear signal. And cap signals are still strong, restricting. Our cap signal shows our maximum authorized speed is 20 with the restricting, but I believe with the rule it says 15. I'm not entirely sure. I would have to look back at the NER book. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing if you're going to be working for the railroad to learn is signals on the territory you're going to be operating. If you're going to work for BNSF, learn BNSF signals. Union Pacific, find Union Pacific signals. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of resources out there of where you can look at your signals. There's one website, excuse me, I'll put a link in the description down below. I believe it's called jovet.signals.net. I'm not entirely sure if that is correct, but the link will be in the description down below. This gentleman has all kinds of signals and guides that he personally makes. Big shout out to him for doing so. If you do, to the guy who created that website, if you do watch my videos, the CSX ones are outdated. However, I do have the new CSX ones to put on your chart if you'd like. Go from there. Alright, so we're leaving the tunnels and coming into New York Penn Station, Moline Station. So I'll turn my headlights down, my digital lights off so I don't blind anybody, and I'll turn them down. So our maximum authorized speed did drop down 15 miles per hour and then went back up to 20 for restricted speed. But we are now running strictly on clears because the cap signals do cut out automatically I believe, from what I've understand through New York Penn Station. So we are relying 100% on signals. So right now we do have clear coming into the platform. We're going to track 13, 1-3. And what I'm going to do is use the pull stretch method, which means I'll be applying train brake, but I'll still be applying power to come to a nice, easy stop. And we do an approach. I do see a red ahead. So there's my minimum. I'm going to bail off the independent, and now we are stretching. Well, not really stretch braking because I don't have any power yet. But I want a nice controlled stop. I'm going to apply a little bit more. Up a little, just a little bit. May have added a little bit too much braking, but you know what? Bar railroading is learning. And just like that, we have arrived. I'll do just a 20-pound set there. Alright, so there's that score. Alright, so free run, we're going to continue this. Our departure time is 8:11. So we were a little bit late going in. There is really no time when you're doing from yard to station or station to yard. It's not really a timetable thing. The timetable starts in New York City when you make your way southbound to Trenton. But we were a couple minutes late, so now we have nothing but time to make it. So you're racing somebody. So you get there first. So we got clear. Followed by another clear. Good runner. That's a good runner application. Looks like we got the high ball. Stop, and we're going to keep going. Thank you, have a nice day. Clear in the cab. Now entering the East River Tunnels. Next station stop will be Newark Penn, expecting on track number 3. Maximum authorized speed is reduced to 60. Wait for our last car to clear the switch, and we'll be going up to 60. Just like that. Let's stretch your train nice and easy. Let's get up there. We got some time to make up, and that's what we want to do. see I got the power because now we're going to level out at the bottom of the river here. So now we're under the Hudson River. And we'll let ourselves equalize. Then we're going to go uphill. So now we're going to apply some power. We're going to play a little bit of catch up with our speed, even though we have a 2-mile-an-hour buffer. I'm going to try to keep it at 60 as much as I can. Which you'll try not to speed, but 1 or 2 mile an hour ain't going to kill you. You shouldn't do it. You're not supposed to do it. Some rivers do it, yes. As long as PTC or ATC doesn't go off, you're okay. A couple mile an hour, nobody usually does it. Now, if you do it consistently, if it's an accident, it's one thing. If you do it consistently, then there might be problems. So, future railroaders, don't do it. Your best tool is your accelerometer down here, under the speedometer. That's your best tool. You know, mine keeps fluctuating because we have a little sweet spot. The light at the end of the tunnel, because we are now in New Jersey. Pretty much where the tunnel goes from downhill to uphill, right at that bottom level, that's where the technical state line is. To New Jersey. Alright, clear 75. So let's get up there. Throw in some sand too. We have clear. Cab issue. Clear for 90. Let's do 90. The clear approaching Secaucus, New Jersey. First station stop in New Jersey for New Jersey train. Alright, so now I'm going to use blended braking, so just pass that signal, so I'm going to go to minimum occupation. My throttle is idle, I'm not bailing off. I have a minimum set. As you can see, the dynamic brake is kicked on automatically. That's called blended braking. We have Portal Bridge coming up. Portal Bridge is a 60 mile an hour restriction. As you can see, our maximum thrust speed has started the countdown. Just going to play a little game of catch up, so we'll add some more air. Speed 60 over the bridge. Might be following somebody. So maintain 60 over the bridge and see what happens next. Alright, clear and clear 90. So we'll make up some time. So we'll go full power for a bit, but not too much. We do have a 60 coming up in about a mile and a half, I want to say. Do have the sander on. Trenton coming up. I'm trying not to blind anybody. We do have bright LEDs. Oh, that was it. Okay, so we'll stay right here, 81. And then we'll do another blended brake. Stretch out a little bit, and then I can just get off the brake, and boom, 59. Alright, 68 done, which then we'll go downhill, coming into Newark, and we're going to add a little bit of dynos, so we can stay under 60. Go down this hill, it's a sharp hill, about 1%, more or less. Alright, another clear. Your accelerometer is your friend, so see what's going on with that. Get her back up to 60 real fast. This plane right above us, landing in Newark, Liberty International. Alright, so now we're at the bottom of the hill, we're going to get off the dynos, and we're just going to glide. We let gravity do its thing. Watch our accelerometer. This next curve coming up, we do have 45. We do have an approach medium. We'll proceed prepare to pass the deck signal not exceeding 30 miles per hour. The next signal is right around the curve, so I'll go ahead and get down to 30. Alright, there's that big signal there. 45, acknowledge. Alright, medium clear. Medium speed through turnoffs, crossovers, spring switches, and sidings. And then proceed back up to normal speed. You know, it does not show it in the cab signals. This is the proper procedure. Remember, the most restrictive signal or the most restrictive aspect, regardless if it's cab signal or your radio signal, is what you need to do. Crossover at. And we're still about a couple minutes late. That's our switches, and there's our clear. Now we should be clear, so go ahead and kick her back up another 5 miles an hour just so we can pull it in. Just like that. Not too bad. We did make up a little bit more time. There's a cello coming in. Alright, departing Newark, Penn Station, track number 3 with a medium clear. Next station stop is Newark International Airport. Track number 4 expected. Medium clear, 30 miles an hour through all the airlockings. Till we clear, and then we proceed normal speed. Alright, we have an approach in the cab. Cleared 70, as soon as we clear the crossover. Just like that, and we have a clear, there it is. Put a little bit of sand down. Basically, I want to use my sander today so we can make up as much time as we can. Remember, watch that accelerometer. Your accelerometer is your friend. It tells you the story of what's going on with your speed. Approach medium cab 45. Keep our minimum on. I'll hit this platform around like 35 miles an hour. Just like that. We gotta make it up a little more time as we go. Alright, we do have an approach limited once we depart. Red lock the doors, let's go. We want to go gung-ho and start yanking on stuff, you don't have too much stretching force, which could break your knuckles. So just enough to get going. Throw down a little bit of sand. We'll let the power level itself out a bit. The part with the approach limited, proceed prepared to pass the next signal not exceeding 45 miles per hour for limited speed. And we do have that approach median 45 in the cab as well, so we have to be mindful of that. So we can only go 45 miles per hour. There's our limited clear. Once we clear this air locking, back up to normal speed. Crossover. Clear 110. We're clear of that air locking, so let's get into it. Going up to North Elizabeth, New Jersey, which means Elizabeth, New Jersey is next. That'll be 75 miles per hour on the first curve of the S, and then the second part of the S curve is 70. So we will approach it around 70. We'll get to speed first. And we do have an approach limited. Approach median 45 in the cab. Might be crossing over again. Track 4 is approach limited 2. Alright, clear the cab, count down, that's our 75, so we'll go ahead and get up to 70 here. And our next station stop is Metro Park, expecting track number 4. There's our 75. The first part of the S, there's our second curve right there, down to 70. There's the countdown. And there's the 70. There's our 125. Once we clear, we'll get her up there. And there we go. spit some sand out, make sure we can go max power without wheel slipping. We equalize it. And what do I mean by equalizing is if you look down at our effort, so we're at 36,000 pounds of effort, 35 now, so when that starts coming down, it means our power is equalized, right, to where it's not overpowering, which causes wheel slippage. Every control within those 60 seconds. Sometimes it's like that. Now I forgot what the name of these two stations are. Yeah, I couldn't tell. I know it's that station, there's another one, then after that one, that's Raleigh, New Jersey. Alright, going up to 125, so start going down the throttle, but it's going to equalize our speed. Watch our accelerometer. We do have 110 coming up, so as a matter of fact, this will probably be a good time to start getting down 110. So this time we'll just use explicitly dynamic braking. We're going uphill 0.5%, so that's going to help us with gravity. Give the friction on the brakes a little bit of cool down time. Here's Raleigh. Pretty sure it's Raleigh. There's our 110. We should be expecting negative signals come by. Negative meaning anything other than that would downgrade from what you currently are at. So right now the highest signal we can get is a clear, which is what we're running on. So we're starting downgrading here in a minute. We're having negative signals, so we can prepare for that crossover into Metro Park. So clear. There's our approach medium. That's the sign when you blinded braking again, we're in suppression. Now supposedly there's a rule to where if you're above a certain speed and your cab signals drop, you have to go to full service. I'm not entirely sure on that. I've yet to find something like that. I don't know if it's a rule if you're allowed to bail off or not. But we'll do so anyways. Alright, there's our approach limited. And we knock down that approach limited at limited speed. So now we'll maintain 45 into Metro Park. I knew how to use the cruise control. That would help me out a lot. I know these sellers, if you use cruise control, that's how you use your dynamic braking and all that other stuff. there's our limited clear. Crossing over 3 to 4. So I'm gonna get off the throttle. We'll just glide in. We'll hit that platform. Say around 35. Look at that, we got here right on time. So step out, take a look at everything. The headlights still good. The graphic looks good. Everything looks great. With that, we actually have to wait till our scheduled departure time. That's how we do it here. Looks like it's getting foggy all of a sudden. Doors are closed, waiting for the time. So approach medium in the cab, 45, so we'll probably be crossing over 43. It's really foggy out here. So now it makes it harder to look at signals. Now we do have a limited clear. All this back up to normal speed, and we'll go up to 90. I don't have time to turn on my headlights. There's our countdown. I believe that one's down to 90. Yep. 93 Trenton, Southbound Regional, we'll go down to 80. That one curve that's 90. This is 95 for us. Because we are train type B speeds. 125, train type B, and then 110 to 125 all the way. Maybe 90. Okay.
accelerometer. And 21 miles ago to reach Trenton, New Jersey.
funny that I'm train type B speeds and it's still having me acknowledge speeds that I personally cannot hit, like 130, 145, 150 coming up. Section, go to 150, and this should be pretty much flat till we hit Princeton. We'll go up a little hill, and then go straight downhill to Hamilton, and then make our way into Trenton, state capital of New Jersey. Freight railroads, we do call this type of grade river grade, where it's just pretty much flat with occasional 0.1, 0.2% grades, but it's mainly flat for the most part. Droplets on the windscreen or the windshield. Looks like it's snow. We are in the Northeast. It is February, so kind of expected. That extra track just popped up to the right, which means we're going into Princeton Junction, aka home of the Dinky. Lifted, now we just have snow. Game and hit 135. We gotta be 125. little bit of dinos as well. Regional chasing after him. Alright, we have an approach slow. So with that approach slow, we're going to proceed. Approaching the next signal at slow speed. Trains exceeding medium speed must begin reduction to medium speed as soon as the engine passes the approach slow signal, which we have done, which is why we're doing 30, which 30 is medium speed, so prepare to pass the next signal at slow speed. We have restricting in the cab. There we go, we have our slow approach. So we will proceed, prepare to stop at the next signal. Slow speed applies to the tire tray, clears all interlockings or spring switches, then medium speed applies. So we can go through this interlocking at 15 miles an hour. Once we clear it, we can proceed back up to medium speed. Ooh, looks like we're in a blizzard now. Prepare to stop at the next signal. So we are now at slow speed, which is 15.15. Look like we have a stop signal ahead, so we were prepared to stop. Of course, I'm going to try to get as close as I can to the marker, but it might throw us into penalty. So what I'll do is I'll stretch brake coming in here. Right, there we go, stop signal in the cab. Our time of penalty just came up. That'll probably be as close as we get. Yep, definitely need a reset. Alright, let's take a look, see how we did here. Our stop accuracy was pretty good. Looks like we only got a silver. Oh, that's alright. Let's see. Yeah, it's showing we're pretty much on time the entire time, except for Metro Park. We're a minute early. Coming from 110 down to that 45. And that's where we will call it a night. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, go ahead and leave a like. If you have any comments, questions, if you have any stories to tell, I always enjoy other rail fan and railroad stories. Please leave a comment down below. As always, feel free to subscribe, and I'll subscribe back. I do check notifications once a week, and the link will be in the description down below as well for that signal site that I mentioned earlier. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope to see you in the next episode. This is Tranks Productions. Have a good one. It's currently 5:25 in the morning, and I'm ready for bed.